WorkshopAddict.com. Today I have the Eagle 56 volt 14-inch bar chainsaw to show you. Eagle just came out with a line of yard equipment this spring, all based on their 56 volt battery line. And this fall they're coming out with a, or late this summer, I'm not sure, with their chainsaw. Electric chainsaw, you might think, battery operated chainsaw you wouldn't think has a lot of power, but Eagle's motto is power beyond belief, and this unit really does deliver what they say. It's all based on this 56 volt battery line, so it's very simple to use. There's no gas, no oil to mix with it. You just take your battery, slip it into the slot, shut it down. Of course, put your bar oil in it. You have to assemble this unit when you get it, but once that's pulled back, there's a little button over here that has to be pressed, a safety button. Pull the trigger. You can hear the unit ramp up, not too loud. Matter of fact, I was over at one of my neighbors and we were cutting up some wood, showing it to him, and his fiance came out and was, "Are you using a chainsaw?" She's like, "Man, is that quiet." The really neat part was she put some shoes on, came out, and we set her up with some logs and she started cutting. She's never used a chainsaw before, but she was very confident with this, able to handle it. It was light enough, it wasn't loud and smoky. So one of the great features with this that I've always hated with my gas chainsaw was when you set it down, it has to sit there and it'll idle, and so it's always running. You use this, you can make your cut. It's got a chain brake, it stops, set it down. You make another cut, pick it up, go ahead. So Eagle says this will cut small to medium trees and limbs. So I took this over to my neighbor's yesterday, and right off the bat he's got, I don't know, 6-inch tree or so that needed cut, maybe 8, 6. So we hooked up a rope to guide the tree to make sure it fell in the right direction and cut that tree down. After that, proceeded to cut it up into small pieces and stack it for him. So he got a little benefit out of it. After that, he had a bunch of about 12-inch logs laying around. 12-inch straight across, so it's just 2 inches narrower than the bar. I figured this is going into the larger trees, and I wanted to see if it would handle it. The trees were ash, and we've got a lot of those going down with the emerald ash board. This unit handled it extremely well. It's got a very sharp blade on it right now, and it tunneled right through the log with no issues. I should take that back. These cordless, brushless motors, like this saw has in it, they have an overload protection. That is to make sure that you don't push the motors too hard and burn them up. You don't want to burn up a brushless motor, it's just not good. So if it starts seeing way too much work, too hard for it to work, it'll shut down. So I did see this happen on the 12-inch log, which was pushing the limits of this. I cut 3 or 4 of them very easily, and I actually started pushing on one of them. It overloaded a little, it just shut the unit down, took it out of the log, started it back up, it was fine. So it did exactly what it was supposed to do. The other thing is, sometimes if you're not careful, you can end up putting your chainsaw in a bind if you're cutting up wood. And I did that on one of them just to see what happened, and as it should, the overload protection took over, shut the saw down, pulled the saw out, was able to go again. So I think this unit's a lot safer than a gas unit. It's a lot easier to use, and the power that it actually has is amazing. It has every feature that you would see on a regular saw, with the blade tensioner or the chain tensioner, easy bar switch out, and there's actually a fuel on this side, not a fuel, bar lubricant window so you can see how much is in there. The set comes with the saw, a 2 amp hour battery, which like I said just clicks in and out, a charger, and a guard. All in all, this is a really good unit. I was talking to my neighbor about it too, and everybody I've showed this to so far was extremely impressed. And I keep getting feedback on new uses for this. This is great for the homeowner, somebody who's got trees that need to be taken, cut up, you know, a weekend warrior needs some logs for his fire pit. Nothing high-end professional, but my first thought was this would be perfect for cutting bowl blanks for a lathe. You get a tree, you get your logs, you can cut them up one at a time, just bring one down to the shop even, and you can cut it right in the shop. You don't have to worry about the fumes. My neighbor had another thought for it. He's a big deer hunter, and he said this would be perfect for taking out into the woods so you can cut your shooting lanes. It's very easy to you hook this to a belt loop because it's not that heavy. Put this in your backpack, put this on the belt loop, you can hike out into the woods, cut your shooting lanes down. There's so many uses for this thing. This is a great unit. I think my Poulan Pro is going to end up at the curb or something, and this is going to be what I use. But so far so good. I don't know how long it's going to run on a battery charge. Quite honestly, everything you cut's going to be a little different. You know how hard you run this unit, so it's going to be hard to judge the amount of time on a battery. But I, cut down that tree, that small tree, cut it up, and I cut a bunch of big logs up. Probably 6, 8, 10 more cuts, and it's still got a full charge on it. It's an indicator down here, and I think you can get quite a bit of work done on a single charge. The charger here, the charging unit, will charge the battery from dead to full charge in 40 minutes. So, if you are cutting stuff up in your own yard, you've got plenty of time to make some cuts, go get a drink, and come back and finish your job if it goes dead. But so far, this Ego chainsaw is just spectacular. I'm going to keep a thread going in the workshopaddict.com forum. So if you want to see more about it, whenever I use it, I'm going to put some comments if I find something new about it. But if you are looking for something very easy, very convenient, you don't have to mess with the gas, this is nice. So again, this is the 56 volt chainsaw, 14-inch bar from Ego. Go look for it if you're looking for something like this. Until next time, subscribe to our channel, take a look at our forum board, and I'm John. Talk to you later.